Well, my story is not quite so sad. Mine starts in college, and I loved college. It was college. It's everything you imagine. Hooray, college! You know, it's 2 in the morning, and I'm ordering a pizza, and that guy's playing the guitar, and it was a great time. And then I went to grad school, and it was so quiet compared to college. There was nothing to do. It wasn't this big dorm situation. All I did every day is I went to class in the morning, then I spent the rest of the day working in my lab. And I had to be in the quietest lab on campus. A lab so quiet that one day my advisor came in and told us to turn off the radio because it was distracting us from our work. That day was September 11th, 2001. He said, I know it's important, but you guys really, could you shut it off, please? I would come home at night, and I wouldn't be coming back to a big dorm with lots of friends. I would just go to my row house in Baltimore, and I could make dinner, eat dinner, go buy groceries for tomorrow night's dinner. So I became that guy, and maybe some of you have a friend like this, the guy who, whenever you ask who wants to go do such and such, always says yes. But we're going to a bar, who wants to go? I will go, I want to go, I'll go to the bar. I have to go to Walmart and pick up some sheets. Oh, I'll go with you. Let's go to Walmart. We're going to have a fun afternoon. It'll be great. Which is why I reacted the way I did when my friend Fred handed me a flyer and asked if I wanted to do this thing with him next summer. And the flyer said 4K for cancer. Now, I should back up here and explain that I am not good at sports. I know this because every time I play sports, someone tells me so. They say, wow, you are not good at sports. I was a counselor at one point for a summer camp. I had to referee a basketball game, and I didn't even know how to break it to the 10-year-old kids playing the game that I didn't know the rules of basketball. The kid was like, hey, he double dribbled. Well, was that 4 points? It sounds pretty good. Keep working on that. Sports just aren't in my DNA. I don't think I care, but it's hard to know, isn't it? Because growing up, all the other kids tell you is that it's very important that you be good at sports. And so all throughout my whole childhood of being bad at sports and the kids making fun of me, I got good at just one thing during gym class. I got good at putting up with everybody's shit. That was my only skill. And so I'm reading this flyer that Fred has given me. 4K, 4 kilometers, that's what, like 2.5 miles. I could run 2.5 miles. I mean, I never have, but how hard could it be? Oh, it's not running. It's biking. Well, if anything, that should be easier. I could bike for, 4K. K meaning kilo. 4,000 miles. And Fred says, yeah, you want to go? Yes. So that's how I found myself on this trip. And the trip was supposed to begin when we dip our rear wheels in the Chesapeake Bay in Baltimore, and end when we dip our front wheels in San Francisco Bay 58 days later. Now, I trained for a couple months before going, and it even sounds weird to say that, because it sounds like something athletes say. I trained. I mean, I don't even know, is that even the right word? I rode my bike a bunch of times, is what I did. And I was like, I'm still on the bike. Well, that's got to be good. Okay, we're going to do this. So we start going, and as we cross the Appalachians and the Ozarks and the plains, I realized that distance biking, not bike racing, but distance biking requires only one skill: the ability to put up with shit. Hey. That's all it is. That's all biking is. I'm tired, I'm hot, my feet hurt. Well, put up with it. And if you put up with it long enough, you're going to be where you intended to go. And so I kept going and traveling. My friends back home actually had bets. We were betting on how far you're going to make it. So really, how far I'm going to get before I quit? No, not before you quit. We're betting how far you're going to get before you die. I've got Indiana, don't let me down. Now, sometimes in your life you have a catharsis that will just find you in the middle of nowhere. But sometimes you go looking for one. The whole time I was on this bike trip, I knew my own story arc. I knew that I was the unathletic kid, and now I'm doing a bike thing, and I'm going to get to the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's going to be a triumph. And so I kept waiting for this moment before I would get to the bridge, something that I did during the trip where I could stand astride my accomplishment and look down and say, this is my moment. And I thought I knew when that moment was going to be. Rocky Mountain National Park. Rocky Mountain National Park is a little different than most of our other days. Most days we biked about 80 miles. Rocky Mountain National Park Day was 40 miles because it was 20 miles up and 20 miles down. 20 miles down takes about 45 minutes. 20 miles up takes the rest of the day. So I was pretty sure that when I got to the top of that mountain, up Trail Ridge Road, which is the highest two-lane highway in the United States, I would be up there and I would look down and I would have this moment. And I guess I must have been picturing a mountain as a triangle. That's probably how I thought of a mountain in my mind, because I could imagine myself standing on the vertex and, whoa, here I am, I'm on top of the mountain. But mountains aren't like that. Are they? You get up there and you're like, well, I'm on a road. I think I'm at the top. It says summit, but there's a thing over there. Is that the same mountain? Is that another one? But the road goes over there. And when you're biking, you're not thinking about the future. You're only thinking about the now. So even when I was biking at the very top of the mountain, I was thinking, I'm really getting tired. There was an ice storm going on at the time. My shoes were filling with ice. Thinking I got to stop soon, I got to get the ice out of my shoes, I should fill up my water in the next bathroom sink I come to. And I wasn't thinking about catharsis. And then the moment I've been waiting for this whole trip happened at the summit in Rocky Mountain National Park, in the summit house, but not where I thought it was going to happen. It happened in the men's room. I was in there, I was standing next to the hand dryer, and I was holding my socks under the hand dryer to melt the ice. This guy comes out of one of the stalls, big, burly guy, 6 foot whatever, 200 whatever, big athletic looking guy, the kind of guy who would have beaten me up in grade school. He takes one look at me in my biking clothes, and he goes, whoa, dude, did you just bike up Trail Ridge Road? I said, yeah, I did. He puts his hand out, he says, man, I gotta shake your hand because you've got bigger balls than I have. Which is the opposite of what everyone said to me my whole life. Usually people said, man, I want nothing to do with you, and also your balls are tiny. And that became my mantra, and I just let that repeat in my head. I shook his hand. I washed my hands later, because he did just come right out of the stall. And I just let that phrase repeat and repeat and repeat. You've got bigger balls than I have. As I put my shoes back on, clipped into my pedals, pointed my bike downhill, and rode to the coast. Thank you.